Good morning, Magic! I'm Gavin Verhey from Wizards of the Coast. And in Innistrad Crimson Vow, there are 10 different main draft archetypes, one for every 2-color pair. What are they? And what are some new preview cards that'll fit right into them? Well, let me show you today. First up, blue-white. In Innistrad, you can expect the 5 allied color combinations to be about the tribes. And that's no exception here. Blue-white means spirits. But a twist this time around is based around the Disturb mechanic. The Disturb cards in Innistrad Crimson Vow return your spirits as auras. That means that the spirit deck has some aura matters going on too, so keep an eye out for those. Next, blue-black. Zombies? Yes, of course, but what are you going to do with a bunch of creatures that can come back from the graveyard or find you more zombies? Exploit them. Using the set mechanic, you can sacrifice your zombies for benefits. A great one to exploit is one of today's preview cards, Wretched Throng. This simple collect me common lets you sacrifice it over and over, provided you drafted enough of them. Red-black is vampires, so you can expect plenty of aggression and also making good use of the blood mechanic. This deck can create blood tokens and sacrifice them for plenty of your effects. Vampires love blood, after all. Take this preview card, Blood Crazed Socialite, as an example. This nice common can eat up a blood every turn to be a 5/5 menacing attacker. Delicious. Oh, red-green is wolves and werewolves. Daybound, nightbound returns, and at common, you'll find some cards that look for other wolves or werewolves. For example, our preview card, Hungry Ridgewolf. A 2/2 for 2 is always a card I'll consider, and when it upgrades to a 3/2 trampler, that's a great early play in your red-green deck. And to round out the tribes, green-white is humans. Now this time around, a lot of the humans use training and +1/+1 counters, and have rewards for training up, shown off well by the signpost green uncommon, Sigardan Paladin. But even with the emphasis on training, you still get some classic human matters with cards like our preview card, Dawnheart Disciple. Curve out with humans, and it's like a 2-mana 3/3. Or find a way to make a bunch of human tokens, and it can get even bigger. Now let's move on to the enemy color combinations. Kicking things off with white-black, we have a Life Gain Matters deck. There are some incidental life gain cards in this set you've seen so far, like Gluttonous Guest and Sanctify, and there's the signpost reward in Markov Purifier, which is excellent. But at common, you haven't really seen the rewards yet, so let me show off 2 commons, Inheron of Hope and Courier Bat. Both flying creatures, they reward you for life gain in different ways. The Heron helps you get a little more out of each time you gain life, plus be a source of life gain itself, while the Bat can be a totally fine 3-mana 2/2 flyer early on, or later in the game become a Gravedigger to get back your best creature. Great for the grindy style of gameplay white-black decks often have. Next up, black-green. This is one you might not expect, and my personal favorite, Toughness Matters. Play big, tough creatures and find all kinds of ways to use them. Plus, just blocking, of course. You may have already seen Dormant Grove Gnarled Grove Strider as a way to grow something and then be a big creature, and then Ancient Lumberknot as an awesome payoff. Today I'm going to show you 2 new cards that fit right into this strategy. First up is Flourishing Hunter. A 6-mana 6/6 that gives you some life has done a lot of great work in recent limited formats, and here you get to scale up based on your other creatures how much life you're going to gain. Like what other creatures, you might ask? Well, it's time to show you what I find perhaps the most charming common in the set. Unhallowed Phalanx. Phalanx? Phalanx? I gotta look this one up, I can never say it right. Alright, I just looked it up and the jury is in. It's phalanx. And you're gonna wanna know this word because yes, you're reading it right. It's a 1/13. So curve out and gain 13 with your Flourishing Hunter, or prepare to attack for 13 with your Ancient Lumberknot in play. Good fun here. Phalanx, phalanx, phalanx. Moving along to blue-green, this is your classic blue-green self-mill Innistrad deck in action. Mill yourself and then get an advantage for it. A lot of the time, you'll want to mill creatures. Vilespawn Spider is the signpost uncommon for this deck, and tells you nicely what you want to be doing. But a nice common you're going to want to grab is one of my preview cards, Moldgraph Millipede. Get it? Millipede? It both mills you and scales up based on creatures in the graveyard. This is exactly what you want in this sort of deck, and can get quite big. Heading into blue-red, we have something blue-red players are probably quite familiar with: spells. Focusing on non-creature spells here, you have great rewards like Whispering Wizard. Worth noting is that it isn't just instants and sorceries, it's all non-creatures. So an artifact cantrip like Wedding Invitation can still get the job done here too. And that means Wandering Mind, the signpost for blue-red, can find them as well. My preview card for this color combination is a new riff on an old favorite, Kessig Flame Breather. Ping your opponents for every non-creature spell you cast, allowing your cantrips and slow advantage to really pile up over time. And finally, red-white. In a move that will probably be surprising to nobody, red-white here is all about attacking. Curve out and use training to make your creature stronger. There is a tiny theme in red-white as well of attacking with 2 creatures. To show you a couple cards that fit into that, take a look at preview cards Militia Rallier and Daybreak Combatants. The combatants help make sure you have a large creature to train with for a turn. The Rallier needs a buddy to attack with, but then it can help one of your attackers defend. These are 2 3-drops you can expect to see in this deck. Which of those draft archetypes are you most excited to draft? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll talk with you again soon, and in the meantime, may you have a lot of fun preparing to draft Crimson Vow. You got this! Using some black and white inspiration. There are 10 new art pieces here, 2 for each basic land type. They're really great pieces and they shine so well in foil too. It's almost like they're fantastical postcards. And with the Eternal Night lands comes the return of Showcase Eternal Night Legends as well. We saw this style in Midnight Hunt, and you'll find it on the